Dobro jutro, Divine Pisces 222. It is Monday, March 2nd, 2020. I'm doing an energy check-in for the Twin Flames today. I actually want to share an epiphany I had last night. Basically, I was thinking about, all of the things I went through last year. Clear. Like the transformations, the awakening, the ascensions. And it was brought home to me, basically what we're talking about when we say inner union. And to have union with oneself and what actually that means. Well, I started thinking about it, and I don't know if too many of you are familiar with what a disassociated subpersonality is. Basically, it's a part of your personality that splits off when you go through any sort of trauma. And actually, it's something that, like as an example, when people are in like traumatic circumstances like sex slavery or things like that, what happens is there's basically a split in the personality, basically to protect that person. So it's like a piece of your personality splits off to deal with a traumatic event, and then there's the other part of the personality which it basically doesn't associate. They don't associate with each other. And I started thinking about, Claire, how many disassociated subpersonalities I have. And I had many. I went through a lot of traumatic experiences throughout my life. Most of us have. And most of us don't even think about the fact that, our personalities tend to split. That's why you have people who have extreme cases, like, who actually literally have split personalities, things like that. They don't remember things when they're in a particular personality. It's because it's a part of the psyche that literally splits, right? And so I started thinking about the last couple of years and everything that I've been through, and I'm sitting here thinking, oh my God, I'm not the same person. I'm not. And I started thinking about all of the disassociated subpersonalities that I had that are, basically started merging together, becoming one. And actually recognizing that my karmic partner, in a way, was actually a reflection of at least one of my disassociated subpersonalities that I was literally dealing with in the 3D, that I was facing pretty much every single day. And so that actually kind of made my mind explode a little bit last night about the idea of what inner union actually means. A lot of us, we say inner union, but a lot of us don't even know what that means. Well, I think I just figured it out. Inner union. The merging of the disassociated subpersonalities and the merging of the timelines. And I also started thinking about, well, what if the disassociated subpersonalities that we're dealing with in this lifetime actually somehow linked to past lives and certain events in past lives and timelines from before. So yeah, that kind of exploded my brain a little bit. And I think I have a better understanding of what this journey is actually meaning, what this journey means, and what I'm supposed to be doing with it. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. Oh, I got a lot of epiphanies these days, man. All right, let's get this started here. So this is interesting because I do feel that here, as of late especially, a lot of you, and I know this is true for me, we've been kind of in a state of confusion, right? Not really quite sure what our third eye is trying to show us. We're not really quite sure what source is trying to show us because we haven't been as clear as we would like. Like this moon that we just went through clouded a lot of judgment. It clouded a lot of, it was almost like shadows came up, but, and things were coming to light, but at the same time, there was so much confusion around the energy itself. It was kind of difficult to really understand exactly what healing process we were supposed to be going through, right? So I definitely would recommend some of you to do a third eye clearing, okay, especially if you're going through ascension. Make sure that you're actually in intuition and not in ego. And obviously, ego has a place. Ego does have a place. You have to have an equal balance of both. You just make sure that you're in ego when you need to be in ego, and you're in intuition when you need to be in intuition, right? I definitely feel the ascension of the divine feminine right now. A lot of divine feminines are really coming into their power. They're really kind of fed up with things. Seeing through the bullshit, not really wanting to deal with anybody else's crap, understanding that they have their own crap they need to deal with, and kind of tired of dealing with a third party situation, or even the divine masculine's issues, right? And let's be honest, like a lot of divine feminines right now they're starting to recognize that they need to release. A lot of divine feminines have been taking on their divine masculine's energies, divine masculine's karma, trying to fix things for him without even realizing that they're doing it. Right? And so a lot of divine feminines are coming into that realization, third eye, right, that they've been healing their divine masculine, which is not a bad thing, but at the expense of themselves. Okay? So some divine feminines are in this mode, like, oh my God, this entire time I have been trying to do it for divine masculine, and that's why I'm stuck. Bingo. That's why I'm stuck, right? So what do you need to do? Reevaluate. Reevaluate your healing. Make sure that you're focusing on yourself. Now, keep in mind that when you do work on yourself, when you focus on your healing, when you do your inner work, it does help your divine masculine, okay? But I feel like a lot of you, what you have been doing, divine feminine, is you've been focusing on your healing specifically for divine masculine's benefit, not for yours. Because you're in the mindset that, okay, well, if I help him, if I heal for him, it will speed up union. No. No, actually, it's going to have the opposite effect. Okay, so some of you are coming into that realization and literally going through a rebirth, like a reevaluation or a change in perspective of the journey and what that actually means. Kind of like when I had my epiphany last night, and the whole idea of dissociated subpersonalities merging together into inner union, and that's what that means. Right? So some of you are coming into the realization again that you have been doing the right thing for the wrong reasons, okay? And you're being guided forward. You're being guided to recognize this. It's not a failure. It is not a failure. Don't look at it as such. It is not a failure. It is a lesson. And some of you have been stuck in this codependent cycle over and over and over again, possibly within your connection. What have you been doing? You've been healing yourself only to heal divine masculine. Well, no wonder you're stuck. Okay? Let's take a look at divine masculine. No wonder divine masculine doesn't think he can do it himself, because he hasn't been. All right. Yeah. Still a lot of conflict around divine masculine right now, man. Some of them are pulling away. Some of them have put up their boundaries. Some of them have actually done this to protect the connections, believe it or not, to protect divine feminine. A lot of them are in some really, really toxic situations that the energies just are not good. Now, some of them, okay, I'm going to say at this point, there are a lot of awakened divine masculines out there. There are a lot of masculines out there who are awakening. A lot of them understand the 5D connection, though they may not acknowledge that. They understand how the energy works. They know they can send the energy. They know they can feel the energy. So those who can purposefully like pull back their energy are doing so for a reason. Now, some of them who are not aware that they can do that, it's their higher selves that are doing this, okay? So some of you may not be feeling your divine masculine here as of late, okay? You may not be feeling the energy, and there's a reason. There is a reason for that. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. They are not gone. They cannot be gone. The connection is always there, okay? And I know the 5D communication is very, very strong right now, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the energies, that you're going to actually be feeling the energies, especially if there's a toxic situation, okay? But yeah, a lot of them are in some really, really codependent situations right now, guys, and they're really up in the air about their emotions. They don't know how they feel. They don't know why they feel what they feel. All they know is that the situation that they're in is not a good one. They don't feel stable. It is not what they want. There's no like love here. It's all rooted in codependency. A lot of them are being sexually manipulated. You know, some of them are being sexually manipulative in their situation. Some of them, the passion is just gone in their situations. Now, again, this could be a partnership. It could be a job. It could just be motivation in a particular job situation. They have no motivation to be there anymore. They don't want to work anymore. They just don't want to be there. They've energetically disconnected. So this could mean many, many things, okay? But if they're in a partnership, some of them, there's no passion there. There's none, okay? And they're recognizing that, all right? And telling you, a lot of them telling you this third-party situation, incredibly, incredibly toxic, guys. The cards don't lie, okay? So just be aware that if you're not feeling your counterpart, there's a reason for that, okay? There is a reason for that. Now, some of them still may be drinking here, but this to me is just highlighting third party, all right? And some of them are trying, like they really are. They are trying to make it right in these situations. They're really trying to make it work. And again, a lot of divine masculines, they really feel like this is all they have, you know, but they are recognizing it is toxic. And some of them feel like it's them, and some of them it is them. You know, there's a cycle within them that they need to break, okay? But it's not necessarily going to fix the situation. It's just going to help them realize even more how toxic the situation is for everyone, okay? Some of them are in a victim mode, you know, they're like, oh, woe is me, blah, 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 everybody hates me, the world's against me, but they're not taking responsibility for their part in the karma too, okay? So some of that, yeah, some of that is coming through for divine masculine, and not only are they feeling the toxicity around them, but it's like they're having a really hard time acknowledging their part in the toxic situation. Just as an example, like when I left my karmic, you know, I understood that we were both in a toxic situation. We were toxic for each other, right? And so coming into that realization that, you know, you're not necessarily a victim, not really. You kind of put yourself in a situation and you perpetuate that situation. And until you decide to end that cycle, you're constantly going to feel like a victim. Now, once you stand up and you take responsibility for your part in whatever it is that, you know, whatever situation that you're in, it's a lot easier to say, okay, well, now that I know, you know, what my issue is, now that I know that I played a part in this, it's a lot easier to release it, right? It's a lot easier to release it. So I do feel a lot of divine masculines right now still in victim mode. Some of them just still don't feel very good about themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't feel like they're good enough just in general for anything, you know, and so they have to settle for where they're at because they can't get better. They can't, or they don't deserve better, you know, that sort of thing. So divine masculine very much in his head. Victim mentality, absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta let them fall on their butts, divine feminine. Okay, if you've been doing all this healing for divine masculine, and it's wonderful to heal, absolutely, but some of you, again, you're not focusing on your own healing for yourself. You're focusing on your own healing for your divine masculine. Okay, get out of that. Yeah, see, divine feminine. Divine feminine focusing on divine masculine. But I also feel like a lot of divine feminines, again, are in masculine energy right now, kind of going back and forth with this. And that's okay. That's okay. You got to learn how to balance that out. You use the masculine when you need to use the masculine. You use the feminine when you need to use the feminine, right? But some of you just have this cycle within your connection that you need to break. Like a lot of you have probably recognized a cycle here with your divine masculine. You're like, ooh, yeah, this is codependent. This needs to end. This is not good. This is not good at all. And so that's good. So epiphanies are great. Towers are good. Believe it or not, towers are good. And some of you are getting these towers right now. You're getting the ahas. You're getting the epiphanies. The realization that you know, this back and forth, this hot and cold, this in and out nonsense, touch and go, whatever you want to call it, is not good. It's not good for the connection. It's toxic. It's toxic within itself. It's a codependency. It's a codependency. Some of you are seriously codependent on your counterpart. Okay? Now, that could be, you know, some of you sitting there waiting for communication. Some of you sitting there, you know, constantly meditating because of the 5D, and that's the only communication you get. You know, that in itself can be a codependent cycle, okay? And you may need to reevaluate that, okay? I'm not saying stop completely, absolutely not, but reevaluate if it's a codependency for you, okay? And if you need to put up a boundary there, if you need to put up a boundary in the 5D, do it, okay? It's not going to hurt anything to do that, all right? Put up your boundary. Put up your shield, all right? Because some of you are in so much inner conflict right now about the connection itself that you're having a really hard time dealing with the things around you, like dealing with your karmic situation, dealing with your healing, dealing with the external drama, okay? Because you have so much internal drama. And, you know, I know I say this a lot, but the external is always a reflection of the internal. So if there's external drama going on around you, what's going on the inside that you need to address, right? What haven't you acknowledged? What feelings haven't you acknowledged? Okay? Like, and I'm not even just talking about your feelings for your divine counterpart, but your feelings for yourself, your feelings for your situation that you're in. Have you acknowledged those feelings to those around you? Have you purged properly? Have you purged? Have you actually repressed and thought that you purged? You know, is there something else that's coming back up right now that maybe you thought you dealt with? Okay, but maybe there's again, this disassociated subpersonality thing, man. I really feel like I had a major breakthrough with that. So I would definitely recommend, just across the collective, those of you who maybe there's something that's missing and you're not really quite sure what it is, I would explore the disassociated subpersonalities. And you can probably, I would say you can do that with meditation. I would definitely say inner child wound meditation, stuff like that is probably going to bring up a lot of that, because I guarantee a lot of those, you know, probably do come from when you were, you know, a child. All right. But yeah, I mean, Divine Feminine needs stability. Divine Feminine needs to find her stability. And I do feel Divine Feminine is triggered to do that. I feel like a lot of Divine Feminines are going through some serious epiphanies right now as regards their connections and the reality of the situation, and what the connection actually means. Like, I know there's this misconception that this twin flame dynamic, and I see it all the time. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so romantic. I love him so much. And I'm sitting here going, okay, man, that's cool, but it's really not, it's not meant to be like a Cinderella story. It's not. Like, it's not. You know? You want that, find a soulmate. Like, that, the dynamic is completely different. Like, it's not a relationship. It's a connection. The point of a twin flame is to teach you to love yourself. Right? So, looking at the connection, yeah, well, boom, there you go, the truth. I only speak the truth. So, yeah, some of you are coming into the realization of what this connection actually means now. Like, the illusions have been completely shattered. Right? They've been completely shattered. And this is for Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine too. Like, some of the Divine Masculines that are actually waking up to this connection and understanding You know, that there is a connection, and are actually having their own epiphanies right now about what the heck this means. And some of them are having dreams about it, you know, they're getting some serious downloads, you know, and you know, for the longest time they've been feeling really, really burdened about it, but now it's like, you know what, there is no reason to feel burdened. There's no reason to feel burdened about this at all. There isn't. It is what it is. Deal with it. There's something that you're needing to do. There's a reason that you're here. And a lot of divine masculines, especially right now, are waking up to their purpose, you know, but there are boundaries in these connections right now. There are boundaries set. There is silence. I do feel a lot of silence across the collective right now. Okay? A lot of separation, a lot of no contact. Some of you are being manipulated into being silent. Like some of you in your situations, people are, you know, you're feeling like you can't speak your truth at all, you know, for fear of persecution or whatever. But yeah, there's codependency that needs to end here, guys. Especially, I'm telling you, it's not just with divine masculine, but I definitely feel within the connection itself. Okay? Yeah. Some of you need to get out of this Five of Pentacles, left out in the cold nonsense. Because some of you have been dwelling there for a while, right? Right. And some of you are focusing on union, and that's okay, focusing on union, but remember the whole point of union. It's inner union. It's union with self. Okay? And that's the whole point. And some of you in these codependent situations, like in your karmic situations, but even just within the connections themselves, you know, you really need to stand in your power. You really need to stand in your power here. Okay? You don't need anyone to fulfill you. You don't. Okay? You just need yourself. And that's the point. Alright, let's get some messages from the counterparts. And some of you have some unresolved issues, man. Your counterparts recognize that. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Some of you need to refocus your attention to yourself. Okay? And remember that you are the purpose. You are the point. Okay? Yeah, discover your life purpose. Okay? Some of you do need to step into mission. Some of you have not stepped into mission yet. You're sitting there thinking about it. You're ruminating, you know, but you really just need to let go. Let go. Just let it go. Move forward. Let the universe take you by the hand, man. It's trying to lead you, okay? Some of you, I'm telling you, some of you have been focusing way too much on the connection. See the twin flame here, okay? And I know. Like, especially the 5D communication, it can be very intriguing, okay? But try not to sit too much in it, all right? And you guys, you need to have faith. Some of you are losing your faith right now. And sometimes these epiphanies that we have, you know, it makes you question some things, absolutely. But never, ever, ever lose faith. It's a test of your faith. That's the whole point, okay? All right, guys, I hope this has helped. If it has, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.